was on Threads, I think. I want somebody who was obsessed with B2K to tell me what the era was like. I only know one B2K song and the hook to a few, but they weren't my thing. Please indulge me. It looked like it was fun. Let me tell you something. Let me fucking tell you something. I was in love with B2K. Now, I was not like a crazed fanatic. I had some neighbors that were fucking obsessed with B2K. I don't know. There's like different levels to fandom. I feel like originally I was like in love with B2K. Like I used to write about them in my diary. I remember one time I had wrote like a really sad diary entry and it was like, B2K will never love me. Like Lil Fizz will never know who I am. And I'm just another girl that they'll never talk to. Or it was like some really sad emo ass shit. Like they're gonna think I'm ugly if they see me at the concert. Mind you, I'm sitting like in the fucking middle. like they were gonna point out and be like, that bitch is ugly. But yeah, but let me really go into this for real. So for people that don't understand why B2K went crazy, you gotta remember, like, as young adolescent girls, we always are gonna find something to obsess over. And this has been since the beginning of time. Like, you know, people was going crazy for the fucking Beatles. They was going crazy for the Temptations. They was going crazy for fucking New Edition, and then they was going crazy for Boys to Men. And so like this was our version of that. Okay, this is who we went crazy for in the early 2000s. Okay, because as a teenager, these were teenagers. It's like they could fall in love with me. Like they could be my boyfriends. Like that's what boy bands represent. Like something for you to fixate all your hormones on. So B2K, just like any boy band archetype, right? Each one is a representation of a different like personality trait, a different like archetype of a personality. And based on your personality, that's the one that you gravitate towards, right? So we got Omarion. Omarion was the braggadocious one. He's the lead. He's like, yeah, I'm sexy. Yeah. And then Raz B was like, oh, he's the sweetheart. You know what I mean? He's I'll open the door for you. Here's a flower. That's what he was. And then J Bug was like, I'm the fashion dude. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here and I'm not the leading dude, but I'm chilling, right? He's the I'm chilling sexy, right? And then you got Lil Fizz, who was the rapper. And you know, they always like, oh, he's the rapper. He's the bad boy. He's the bad boy. So I was obsessed with Lil Fizz. I love Lil Fizz. He had the hair. I used to dream about braiding his hair. Like when I tell you I was obsessed with B2K. But they also, looks aside, they were really fucking good. Like their harmonies were really good. Their dancing was really, really, really fucking good. So yeah, girl crush obsession. But if you go back and look at like those concerts, they would put on a fucking show. Like it was a good ass show, but like the music was good. It was like R&B with like pop influences in there. Like it was really good. But like being obsessed with B2K meant you had the CDs, you know, you had the Christmas album. You had, I think they only came out with 2 albums, right? It was the original one, the first B2K, and then the one that had Bump 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 on there, which was that with like Pandemonium or Fandemonium or something like that. Then they had the Christmas album, right? And then, but also you had to like IMX, which was Immature, rebranded with Marcus Houston, because Marcus Houston was supposed to be, when he like supposed to be Omarion's cousin. So they would do that a lot too. Be like, oh, this is so-and-so's cousin, to like, you know, get a rub, or like, so they could promote them together in the tour. So like Janae Aiko, first time I saw her was during like Scream Tour or during all those concerts and stuff, because they were like, oh, Janae Aiko is Lil Fizz's cousin. And that's how they marketed her at that time. They're like, that's her cousin. Also would have magazines, and they've been doing that since like the 70s, 80s, but they had magazines that were tailored to little girls. So they would buy these posters, and they had so many posters in there, and they would have different covers on there. So it's like, if you get this cover, you got Lil Fizz. If you get this cover, you got Raz B. So girls were buying 4 of the same fucking magazine just so they could have each member on the cover. So they were making some fucking money. They were making crazy ass money. And I remember when they broke up and everybody was so sad. It was one of the saddest days in history when they broke up. But yeah, You Got Served came out. Everybody was in there, even though that movie was not great. The writing was terrible. And then here's just another random quick story. So I met Raz B at a Golden Corral in Houston. And this is after they broke up. This is after You Got Served. And I distinctly remember this because this is one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. First of all, I was terrified to talk to Raz B. I was just sitting over there watching him at Golden Corral. And he was with another rapper. He was like a little kid rapper, and I could not remember his name. But he was a little kid rapper in Houston. And he used to do concerts at all the schools. But anyway, he was there with him and his manager. And so I was watching them, and I was so nervous. And I was there with my dad, my younger brother, and one of my friends, two of my friends, because we had went to Astro World. That's how old this is, RIP Astro World. And so we had, which was amusement park. We were at Golden Corral, and Raz B was over there, and he saw me watching him, and so my dad was just like, come on, we just gonna go over there. So I went over there, and I was like shaking because I was so in love with B2K. And I was like, can you sign this? And all I had was a fucking napkin. So he signed my napkin, and I actually have it in a box somewhere. If I find it, I'm gonna post it. But yeah, he signed my napkin. And then my dad fucking embarrassed me because he was like, yeah, who wrote, he was like, yeah, I saw You Got Served. The screenplay was terrible. If you want somebody to write the next one, here you go, and gave his card to the manager. And I was like, Daddy, why would you say that the movie was bad? It was bad, but we're also in Golden Corral. Like, come on, don't embarrass me like that. But it was bad. But yeah, that's what it was like to be obsessed with B2K. It was a lot of screaming, a lot of shrieking, a lot of it's not my way to talk to strangers, but I feel like I already know you. Gots to Be was actually a pretty weird song. I actually want to do a separate video on that because just the lyrics of that song was kind of weird. But yeah, gots to be the one to make you. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's what it was like to love B2K. I know that you wanted this. Tell me, can you handle this? Show me. Bump, bump, bump. We're not gonna sing that one.